Okay, good morning. Let me turn my fan off so you can hear me. Sorry, Kate, I'll turn the fan off for a second. Is that too much? I turned the fan off. Is that okay? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, good morning. So today, welcome to Work With Me Wednesday. I'm just getting everything set up. I'm a little bit behind because I went for a bike ride this morning. So dilly-dally too much this morning to get everything done. So we're getting there though. So today I'm gonna work on a French provincial, which I'll show you in just a second. And I'm gonna work on my bookcase that I've been working on the last several lives. Kate's behind me. Kate, there she is, my daughter. She is refinishing furniture with me this summer and possibly this school year. She just graduated last May, and so she's going to a community college local for a year, and then she'll transfer to a 4-year university. And so anyway, so if you're just jumping on, welcome. I've got some people mowing today. They'll be loud for a little bit. But tell me where you're joining from. Are you going to be working or are you going to be watching? So let me show you. He's loud. Let me show you what I'm working on. So here is the French provincial I'm working on. I have stripped the top. It's got this really weird fly speck finish, and so I don't like it. So we're going darker. This is one coat of gel stain, and today I'm going to be doing the second coat of gel stain. The top is the color I'm going for. And then as you can see, if you've been here, you know I've been working on this bookcase. And there's just so many repairs that need to be done. Little things like, I took the back off and I'm noticing, oh, okay, I've got some, veneer here that I know you won't see it because it's in the back of it, but I'll know it's there. This is for me. So I've got to get all of this glued up. And I've got some other areas here. See this right here? That's got to be glued up. So it's a really cool piece. This is, like I said, this is for me, but I had to take out the veneer off here because it was all messed up. And honestly, there's wood underneath it. And since I'm painting this, I don't really see the need to put new veneer in, except that it has a little bit of height variation with this corner block. So I'm not sure if I should just go ahead and re-veneer it to level it out. I don't know. What do you think? Should I? Because I could put some veneer, but the veneer I have is really thin, so I'd probably have to do 2 layers. But I did use some peel and stick veneer to replace the veneer on the top. Again, you're not going to see this at all, but there was some major repairs that had all rotted out. And so this had been sitting in a barn, and so it had a lot of water damage on it. So I have had to replace, you can see this is a new strip here. I've had to replace a lot of the molding. I happen to have some that was super similar. It's not the exact same width, but visually I think it'll be fine because I replaced the front and I replaced the sides. So that will be seamless. And yeah, so I think that's good. But I'm just getting it to the point where I need to prime it. I'm painting this whole thing, and so it is mahogany, I think, but I don't know. Oh, Lori, thank you. I wouldn't worry about veneering the base. I kind of thought so too. Like I said, this is for me, so if it doesn't bother me, I guess it's okay. But I wanted the texture of wood, because I'll be painting it. So, I'm not gonna grain fill it. So I'm not going for like a high gloss look or anything. I do kind of sometimes like to see the grain underneath paint. And then these are the shelves. And You can see some of them have quite a bit of damage as well. This is what the whole thing looked like, just sitting in a barn, gross. And so there obviously was one side that had a lot of the water damage, because it looks like, you know, these just sat in water. So I don't know if I'll be able to fix these. These smaller shelves go on the sides, but I don't know. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? The thing I like about the shelves is that they have the little, I don't know what it's called, OG detail right there. And so I could take this off, this veneer, and really the wood underneath is fine. So you can see it's like this layer, a thin layer, and then there's a layer of wood that's all wrinkled. I think I could get this off and just paint that and be fine. So this one's the worst. This one, it's pretty bad. I mean, it's almost like through all the layers. You can see this layer and then underneath here. So I'll have to work on that. That might be something I'll work on today. But anyway, Lori, are you working or are you watching? You have a project? So, oh, and then let me show you these too. So these are really cool. It's sideways, but this is like a kind of a chinoiserie look, an Asian look. These are nightstands. And I found these local. This is such an interesting piece. I don't think it has it on this one. Let me see if I can find it on the other one. So I found these two, this little stool, it's like a little rolling stool. I found a tall, two chests and a desk. I think they were $300. And I love this look. It's gorgeous. And I mean, look at this wood. Come to find out, what it is because I didn't know what brand it was. I asked the guy who was selling it, and he said, oh, here it is. Okay, look at this. It says designed and built by Dean House, especially for Dick and Jane Lawyer. So I asked the son, because the son was selling the whole set. And I was like, okay, so what's the story? I sometimes like to know the story. So he didn't know exactly, but he actually Googled the guy, because I thought Glen House was maybe a name of, you know, with it being house, I thought, well, maybe it's a name of a furniture dealer. Come to find out, it's not. He was a master craftsman, because he found his obituary, the son did, and sent it to me. And he's a master craftsman, and he made the whole set for this family as a wedding gift. I mean, this thing is like gorgeous. Burl wood, accents. It is just, I have the chest. I have two tall chests, and I'm using them as nightstands in my room because they're a lot taller. And so I was keeping these. They've been in storage for a year, because I'd really like to keep the set together. Oh, I forgot. I also have a headboard that matches it too. So I was like, should I keep them? But I just don't have anywhere else to put them. And so I think I'm just gonna work on them. And they don't need a lot. They have a little bit of failing finish on the top. But, oh yes. Lori, you said you're on a break from yard work. I don't blame you. I need to mow my yard too. I'm the mower in my family. We need to hire it out, but we don't have a real big lawn. So I'm like, okay, I can mow it. Stephanie, yes, let me turn this around and show you. Okay, so here it is. It's sideways. There's two. And you can see it has the fretwork here. It has brass. There's brass along here, brass along the edges, all of this. And this opens. This is all burl wood. It's veneer, but I mean, the craftsmanship is amazing. The hinges that he used, I'm just shocked. And so everything fits together beautifully. It's custom made because he obviously has, even on the chest, things weren't working. The chest that I have, they weren't going in. And so of course he has everything labeled. And so once I figured out where everything went, then I was able to, it just all goes together seamless. So here's the label. Designed and built by Dean House. I mean to tell you, I cannot even imagine the amount of time that it took for him to do this. So it's gorgeous. And so part of me is like, I want to keep it and try to find somewhere in my house for it, but yet I just don't know where to put it because I'm already using the desk. I actually put it in my room too. And I have the two chests. And then I'm thinking about using the headboard, but let me show you. I'll turn this around so you can see there is a bit of failing finish. Hang on, I'm one-handed here. Hey, Rachel. I know, we refinish furniture and we know how much time it takes. Can you imagine trying to make this furniture? Okay, so you can see right here, there's a little bit of failing finish, but my thought was maybe just stripping the top and trying it to match everything. I don't know. Karen, how do I stand the heat? Well, we use fans. Kate's over there. Hey, yeah, we're sweating. I'll show you. See, Rachel and I, redesigned by Rachel. She's my furniture friend too. Go check out her YouTube channel. She's awesome. But her and I, we have neck fans. And so it sounds funny, but he has 3 speeds. And surprisingly, it keeps pretty cool. And so I noticed yesterday I didn't have it on. And I got really hot, Kate and I both. And it is hot out here. But we work in little stints. But honestly, it is really hot. But, hey, Jono. I feel like when I'm out here, my body starts to acclimate a little bit better. Not really. I mean, it's just hot. But I think that over time, your body gets used to it. So we still don't work like super late in the afternoon. I mean, some days we do though. And so like today is our long day. Wednesdays is our long day that we're here all day at the house. So we really try to focus on getting as much done as we can. So that's one of the reasons why I do my lives on Wednesdays, because I'm usually always home on Wednesdays. And so I try to keep that day kind of like work day, And so, Lori, you prefer being hot over cold? The older I get, I really don't mind. I don't mind the heat as much as I used to. My daughter does not like the heat at all. And I was like, well, wait until you get to menopause, then maybe you won't. I don't know. Of course, then you're just hot all the time. But I don't know. Stephanie, you said you can always put on more clothes. That's so true. There's only so many clothes you can take off, and that is so true. Honestly, I was telling someone last week, I kind of think sometimes it's harder to work in the cold. I knew what you meant. I think it's harder sometimes to work in the cold because my products get real interfered with the cold weather, and so it's really difficult. Sometimes you just can't work with things under a certain temperature, and so sometimes the same goes with the heat too. And so Kate had a problem. She's working on her armoire. Actually, let me just take you over there and I'll show it to you. So we are not sure what happened, but it was done, and then we had a ring at the back. I don't know why it wasn't there. Sometimes things bleed through, right? So what we decided to do is we put shellac we sanded it all down, put shellac over it, because shellac is gonna seal in any contaminants. Then we repainted it, And then these, I don't know that I do this again, because what we did is we had a paint and then we went over it with a matte top coat. Well, anytime you have to do a touch up, you have to do the paint and then you have to go back and do the top coat. Well, the top coat left this really crazy texture. It's actually so much better now because she's sanding it down. She's actually wet sanding it. And so it is taking forever. And so Kate, what do you think? You like furniture refinishing?
The pay is good.
The pay is good.
Yeah, she is my boss, so that's helpful.
Yes, she likes the flexibility of it,
Yeah, the hours
but
are good. So
yeah.
through the summer a lot, but I'm just hoping to get this done because I thought this was going to be done, and I'm working on 2 nightstands, and so I was
Right.
kind of sanding those. So now I'm sanding both at the same time, but that's okay. It'll be done eventually. So.
Yeah, she's a little frustrated. Hey, show us your nightstands while I have the camera on. Okay, I don't even, did I show you guys? I think I showed you guys the matching dresser last week to this. It sold like in a couple hours. So it's gone. But these are the matching nightstands. And so what have you done to them?
I've done 80 grit. I've literally hand sanded it. I really went and did like the hand sander, you know, where you do use the machine. I don't know what's that called, which one you have.
What, the sander?
Yeah.
This is an orbital sander.
It's an orbital sander. But I left all these marks in it because I really tried to go down to the finish, so now I'm having to hand sand a lot. But that's okay.
Oh, yes. That's the problem. Is I told her she probably pressed down too hard. That's a mistake I make a lot with orbital sanding, is just pressing too hard and then you get the sanding swirls. So you usually get sanding swirls if you go too fast or you press too hard.
But I probably did both. But at least I can go back.
But you're really close. It looks like, where are you at? Are you done with 80?
I'm just literally doing like the sanding swirls, and there was some where it's like the wood meets here to where I did it against the grain, so I'm gonna have to fix that.
Okay.
But that'll be it.
So you're down to what?
It, like the hand sanding 80 grit.
Okay. And then you got to do 180, or I'm sorry, 120, 180. Yeah. That's no fun. So, yeah. So yeah, she's learning the joys of furniture refinishing, and man, when we had that problem with the top coat, we were like, you got to be kidding me. That's part of it though. That's part of furniture is, sometimes things happen, especially when you're working with vintage furniture. Now, my friend Sabina thinks it's this top coat. Can't really see it. It's backwards, but it's Minwax. It's their new Polyacrylic Max Crystal Clear. She said she's had some problems with it. I put it on, we put it on the whole body and we haven't had any problems. So I'm not really sure that that's the problem because we used it everywhere else. But, and then my friend Jeremy, he asked me if I've had any problems with the Clear Max because he put it on something and a week later, there was some water on it. He wiped off the water and the water ring left a mark. Well, I've only used it on 2 projects. And so I'm like, great, I don't know. I don't know. Has anybody else used the Minwax? A lot of times I use Behr. Behr has a beautiful water-based and oil-based top coats that I really like. Laura, you said shellac doesn't play nice with some finishes. Well, we use the de-wax shellac, and typically de-wax shellac is supposed to be a universal, finish that can go over and under anything. But you are right, because I know for sure that Wise Owl does not play nicely with shellac. And that's honestly one of the main reasons why I'm like, I bought it, and I do have some Charleston green left, which I love that color. But I'm not gonna use it because I use shellac so much. What I did when I used shellac is I ended up doing a sandwich. So I used regular shellac, I used shellac, and then I used 123 bin primer, and then I did my paint, and that seemed to help. Now, since you're on my live, I'll give you a little secret. One of my friends messaged me and said, hey, I know that you've used Wise Owl in the past, and she said, I just wanted you to know that they use the same formula that is Sherwin-Williams Snap Dry. She said it's the same thing. I guess she used to sell Wise Owl before she got into doing another type of finish. And so I've never heard of Sherwin-Williams Snap Dry, but she said that I don't know if it's exactly the same, if they just get it and tin it, I don't know, but and repackage it, she didn't say. But if you're looking for something similar to Wise Owl with a little bit different price, you might try the Snap Dry. Now, I've been using Gallery Series by Sherwin-Williams, and I feel like it has a really great dry time. It's like, I think it's dry within 45 minutes, recoat within an hour. I mean, that's pretty good, because I used to, in the very beginning, I used Benjamin Moore Advanced Paint, which has like a 16-hour recoat time, which is terrible. I mean, you know, you just can't get through your pieces. So, you know, looking for pieces that dry quicker, it helps. Obviously, oil takes a while to dry. Like, you know, I did the first coat on this gel stain. Well, I have to wait 12 plus hours before I can put another coat on it. So using oil always kind of, you know, just takes more time. But I have to say, I do like oil because it just gives a really rich finish, you know, a lot of depth, I think, to your pieces. But it's personal preference. So yeah, wait times, that, you know, when you're really thinking about it as a business, you have to really think about those wait times, because if you're waiting that long unless you have several projects that you can bounce between, you know, you're not being as efficient as you could be. So I know that's why a lot of times when people who have shops, you know, that are like real like restorers and refinishers, you know, sometimes like they'll use products that you'd be surprised that they would use. Like I saw somebody, he was using Bondo, and I know people use Bondo, I've used Bondo, but he was refinishing to wood, and instead of making like a wood epoxy, he used Bondo, which I was a little surprised, because he's a shop. You know, you think that, you know, some of the like real refinishers, you know, they're like purist. They use, you know, wood epoxy, or they take a chunk of wood and they glue it in, and then they like carve it to match. I mean, that's like next level. But this guy was using just Bondo, which, you know, anybody would use. But I thought that was kind of interesting. But he also said, because somebody asked in the comments why he did that. Good morning. My neighbor's coming over. I know, right? It's so hot.
I just, you know, sometimes I go for a walk and I just have to skip.
Hi.
Skip because I feel so bad.
Oh, Cooper. Hang on. I'm so sorry.
I'm just trying to walk because it's good for my back, and you know, to exercise.
You go on the outside?
Well, I noticed that in the afternoon there's shade over there, but in the morning there's really not.
Oh, I found it. I thought that there was more shade.
More shade still? Yeah.
Yeah, I go for a bike ride.
Oh, you do? Yeah. That's what I say to my husband, that I should get a bike, you know, because that would be really. He has a bike, but he never. Yeah, because you can go really far, right?
You can. I mean, there is a sidewalk, but it does connect to the trail. You know, but I just go on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I slow down.
Yeah. That's what I should do too. And I should get out earlier, but sometimes I just don't sleep well, so you know, you have to get sleep, and then I have to get my coffee.
Exactly. There's priorities, right?
I know. So how are you able to work in this weather?
We just mainly do mornings.
Yeah.
So a little bit in the afternoon. We have fans on typically, but like right now I'm recording, so I don't have a fan on.
Oh,
so.
okay.
I know, but we'll turn the fan on here in a few minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Have a good one. Okay, sorry. Oh, I know. I have people walk by my neighbor or by my garage all the bit and all the time. And I have a sweet neighbor that moved in last fall, and she's from, I think she's Swedish. Is she Swedish? She's from a Scandinavian country. Her and her husband moved in, but his daughter lives here, and so they moved into the area, and they are so sweet and wonderful. But we have so many. We have a lot of walkers in our neighborhood, so. And my dog goes crazy over any dogs, especially little poodles. He doesn't like little poodles. So sorry about that, but she's super sweet, so I wanted to at least say hi. But I'm ready to get going to work. So are you guys working, or are you just gonna watch me work? I'm gonna do a second coat on the Sentry, and then I'm gonna try to get some more repairs on this bookcase. My husband, this is kind of for him. He's got like this overflowing library. We used to have built-ins at our old house, and I don't have built-in bookcases in this one. So I'm trying to add bookcases here and there so that we have bookcases upstairs. I refinished one of my bedrooms upstairs and put in some bookcases, but we need something downstairs. So I'm gonna turn us around, and I'm gonna get my second coat going on this Sentry and get it all pretty.
So we did yesterday. Do you have more tips for getting it like down faster?
I don't.
Or should I use the flat surface thing and see?
What's that?
Using that? Do you think that would help or not?
It might. Yeah, it might help.
What's wet thing using?
I don't know. What about the? Let's see, I'm not really sure what you want to use. I do not know.
Heat air rises, so it gets pretty hot up here.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You know how it goes. But I'll do what I can.
Okay. Yeah. Move it. Hi, John.
I can't believe you barked at her like that. Embarrassing.
Okay, front's done. I still feel like I need to tone this a little bit, but let's take a break. And I will catch up on comments. Okay, give me just a second here. I gotta take my gloves off. So, I love gel stain for that reason. If you notice, I'm blending, which is wonderful. So I take a dry chip brush. Chip brushes are your friend. They're so helpful. But take a chip brush, wipe it off on a towel, use it as just kind of like a blending thing. All right, let me go back. Let me look at my comments here. Okay. Okay. Okay, you guys are just really chatty today. I love it. Okay, Lori, you said I'm gonna go all the way back. Lori, you're working on pavers. God bless you. That was the project we did last year, and it was, we love it though. It was a lot of work, but it was so good. And someone's recovering from, oh, Karen, food poisoning, boo. Well, at least you can sit and watch. Oh, let me see here. What else? Jeremy, what am I using? I did not say, I'm so sorry. I am using Kona by Varathane. And I feel like I like Java by General Finishes, but this is Kona and it's super dark and I really love it. Dark's just really, really in right now. I like antique walnut, but it's very brown. I don't really like antique walnut by itself. I really like mixing it with antique walnut the antique walnut I like is by General Finishes, and it is my favorite combo. Well, I have two favorite combos depending on what I'm doing. If I'm just doing a gentle restoration, then I like nutmeg. I feel like it kind of brightens up the finish, and I'm just keeping it the same. And so I'll use that on the body. If I have to redo the top, then I'll do nutmeg, and then I can't remember if I combine them. Nutmeg and antique walnut seems to get me to the darker to match the body. So that's when I'm doing like just stripping the top. But I'm using Kona on this, and I love it. And so I really like it. Let me see here. Corbin Avenue Home, you said, I know from personal experience how difficult getting those detailed bits can be. I had somebody say I should just be refinishing the whole thing and stripping it. I mean, I don't know why, because it's in beautiful condition. So if I'm just doing a color change, there's really no reason to strip the finish, because they were like, this was on Instagram. They were like, well, to do it properly, you need to strip the whole finish. And I was like, but that's not my, for proper restoration. And I was like, well, that's not my goal. I'm not restoring it. It's in great condition. I'm just color changing it so that I can, sell it and somebody will want it. And so I told him, Rachel, we were talking, and she said, I kind of think that the raw wood look is waning a little bit. I think it's still popular in some areas, but dark is what seems to be going. And so in order for me to go light, I would have to strip the whole thing, which I'll be honest, I don't want to do. I mean, all those curves, why? And so if I had a lot of veneer damage, I would strip it down, but it's in great, I am not doing any veneer repair. It's beautiful. And so, I don't know. TU said, I was wondering where you get all your backdrops if you use them. Backdrops. You mean like when I take my pictures? I don't have any. I use a wall in my garage, and then I have a wallpapered mural in my dining room. And so sometimes if it's a small piece, I take it in there and I stage it. Like I staged my bamboo blue piece in my dining room and it looked so good. I was like, this would look really good in here. But I did end up selling it. So I am gonna work on, Karen, you said it'd be fun if someone would read your comments while you work. I know normally, I'm sorry, normally I don't have anybody with me. So I should that's why I try to take breaks. But, and try to catch up. But it's just me. And so it's kind of hard. I should get my iPad because I could like pause and ask and I could look on my iPad. So maybe next week I'll try that. So thank you, T. I will work on that. Corbin, you said you hit thrift stores for secondhand window drapes. Oh, that's good. Or well-made flat bed sheets, solid backdrops I built using rigid foam sheets painted with scrap pieces of base trim. There you go. I'm wanting to do a new staging wall. And so I have one of those weird concrete lips, and so it's out. So you know, I have like the wall and then I have a concrete down to the floor, and so I can never like lean my artwork against the wall because there's a gap. And so what I want to do is build it out and put like some, you know, sheetrock, drywall, whatever, and maybe do some like moldings on it. So maybe this spring, or not this spring, maybe this fall when it's a little cooler, I could do that. Douglas, greeting from Costa Rica. Ooh, you're a long way away. That blue piece is stunning. You mean the bamboo one? It was pretty amazing. So did I tell you the story on the bamboo? So I listed the bamboo one, and it was in Parma Gray by Farrow and Ball, and I listed it locally. I didn't even have a chance. Well, actually, no, I think I did put it on Etsy, but someone reached out to me on Facebook Marketplace, and she was actually in Texas area, Fort Worth. So I'm in the northeast Oklahoma, so it's about 4 hours away, not very far. But she didn't have a profile picture. I didn't even know she was real. You know, sometimes you have people and you're like, what? But she wanted it, and I'm like, you know, so I don't have a shipper, like an individual shipper. Most of the ones I use are professional, and they have like a base rate of $250. And she's like, well, I'm trying to find somebody that can get it the cheapest way there. And I'm like, okay. And so I just waited. Anyway, she had her sister, literally, it was a legitimate sale. She was using it. She sent me like the picture of where she was going to use it. She was going to put it in her sunroom. And she said that I don't know how to say it, the mahjong game. So they play that in their family, and then they have a very active neighborhood game going on. And so she was going to use that to store all of her mahjong tiles or whatever it is. I've never played. And so it's perfect because it's kind of that chinoiserie look. And so that one sold for $1,200, which was great. I think I paid $120 for it. And so my return on my investment was great on that piece. Very happy with that one. And so, and then the one that I sold last week, it also sold for $1,200. It was the all wood piece, and that was the Basset. Now that one I did strip all the way down. I probably could have asked a little bit more. Sometimes when you have things that sell too quickly, you've either left money on the table or you've just happened to find the right buyer. And so with that one, I think I just found the right buyer because it literally sold within a couple hours. And she reached out and was like, my husband's in town. They live about an hour and a half away. So my husband's in town. I'm really interested. Can he come by today? And so I didn't see the message for like an hour because I was on another pickup. I was picking up some other furniture. And so I messaged her back, worked out. She Venmo'd me. He came and picked it up. It was fast. Fast and Furious. And so that one sold for $1,200. I bought that one and the nightstands for $100. So I went to basically like $50 for the dresser, and then I did a full refinish and I sold it for $1,200. So it was a good one. It was a really good one. But do you have a website? I have a website. I don't really use it. I put all my stuff on Etsy. So I've sold lots of things so far on Etsy, and it takes a while sometimes. I mean, sometimes I've actually had one piece that sold in 4 days, which is unusual because usually it takes a while for you to get your pieces kind of in their algorithm. And so, but I do have, I love selling on Etsy. I was super intimidated for about a year because the whole shipping process really freaked me out. But I decided to start with wood pieces only to ship because I figured, there's no paint to scuff or anything like that. And so I started with wood pieces, and honestly, it's just kind of scary because it leaves your house and you're just waiting for it to get there. And sometimes it takes a week or two for them to get it there because it's like, you're like in their queue, and they have a lot of deliveries. And so you just kind of hold your breath. I feel like I have a tab open in the back of my brain until the piece is delivered. But I don't spend that money. I don't do anything with it until I have a clean, that everything's okay. Because I do have insurance, but insurance, you have to put a claim in, blah, 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 blah. And so I haven't had to do that yet. And so, my husband's the realist. He's like, someday you will have a problem. I'm like, thanks. But right now I haven't had any problems. And these aren't just people that show up in their pickup trucks and throw it in. Of course, I have had one of those, but it worked out fine. But typically these people come in and they are wrapping it up. They've got, the right equipment to put it up. I love it when they have the lift that goes up so they're not struggling. There was one guy, he was older. He was taking a dresser and a nightstand to California. He was from my area, and I was like, okay. So he comes in and he's done like hundreds of shipping, but he just looked like he was struggling. And I was just like, are you sure you can do this? And it was a painted piece, and I was so nervous, but it arrived fine. He did great. Customer loved it. And so, sometimes you just have to trust the process and go, okay. But I do a lot of, communication, and I really look at people's ratings, and I'm really particular about who I choose. And I pay more in order to be able to get a good shipper. I don't chintz on my shipping because I don't want anything happening to it. So what I do is, because I'm kind of in the middle of the United States, I put in about $650 for shipping on my piece, on my listing. And then I give discounts if they're local, obviously, they can come pick it up. Or, the shipping, with states adjoining Oklahoma would be a lot less. And so I'm able to pay better shippers because I have a nice size budget for my shipping, and I think that helps that I haven't had any problems. So anyway, does anybody else have any questions? We're already at 10:30, so we're already past our hour. I was going to try to work on the bookcase, but I guess we won't. So, but I appreciate, I think that was Karen, I appreciate your comment about maybe reading the comments while we're working. So I will go back. I'll get my iPad. I do have an iPad, and I can log on and look at things while I'm working. But the thing that I did today was gel stain. So I apply the gel stain with my chip brush, wipe it off. Some of it was coming off too much, so that's when I went back with my dry chip brush, wipe it off a little bit, kind of get off any excess. Then I'm going back in, and because the chip brush has the irregular bristles, it kind of mimics the wood grain. So it's my is a perfect little tool to just kind of drag that gel stain across so that, you know, it kind of mimics the wood grain. But anyway, Linda, love that you're doing your live streams. Well, I love that you guys are joining me. So if there's anything you want me to cover, if there's you know, a technique or something, you can let me know. It's kind of hard because I try to do them on Wednesdays. So I try to have something that I'm working on. Like last week, I was just doing staging. You saw that piece because I staged it last week. So I staged pictures and I took some before pictures of this one. So this will probably be done. It's only Wednesday, so I think I'll be able to top coat it. The other thing I was gonna say was if I still don't love the color, if I still feel like the color is a little bit too light in a couple areas, now I like it. What's that burl thing? You didn't see the beginning. I'll show it to you. Okay. I showed everybody in the beginning, Jeremy, and I will show you again because this is such a cool piece. Okay, here's the story. I'll go on a little bit longer because I want to tell you this because it's such a cool piece. Okay, hang on. Let me turn this around. So these are nightstands, and this is such a cool story. So I found these locally, and they're on their side, but I have two tall chests that are exactly the same. I have a desk, I have a little stool, and I have a matching king-size headboard. And the story is, the guy was clearing out his parents' estate, and I asked him, who was it made by? And he said Glen House, and I was like, well, I've never heard of that. I thought it was like a, you know, like a furniture, you know, place or somewhere. Well, this is very interesting, but look at this. It says, designed by and built by Dean House, especially for Dick and Jane Lawyer. So come to find out, I messaged the son, and he said that this guy made his parents this set, custom set for their wedding present. And it's literally custom made. And this is like burl wood, right? And I mean, all the hinges he used, all of this brass hardware. You know I love all these details, all this beautiful fretwork. This one has some failing finish on the top here, but beautiful hardwood back. I mean, just the craftsmanship is amazing. So like I said, I kept the two tall chests. I have them and I use them in my room, and I kept the desk. And then I have this tiny little stool on wheels. There is a piece of wood. I have it somewhere, but it needs to be adhered. And then I have the headboard in storage. And so I don't know I've been keeping these in storage for a year. I don't really have a spot in my house for them. But I'm gonna go ahead and clean them up, take all of this hardware off, because you can see these were a little rougher. And so it might need, the chest didn't need any refinishing. I just polished them. So we'll see how much these need, but I need to kind of get them jazzed up a little bit. Obviously they've got some issues on the brass, but such cool pieces. Man, I know, right? I bought them. So I bought the whole set for $300. And I kind of felt bad about it because I was like, you know, this is like an amazing set. And I really like, especially when I found out he sent me the guy's obituary, and he ended up being a master craftsman is what he was. And so, you know, I have this like custom set, and I really don't want to split it up, but yet I don't really have anywhere else to put these. Like I said, I'm using the chest. I think I'm gonna use the headboard, I'm using the desk, and I'm using the stool, but I don't really have a spot for these nightstands in my current setups. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm at least gonna finish them. These will need a little bit more work, like I said, than the other ones, but they're beautiful. It was such a lucky find, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I have like custom piece. I'm surprised the guy sold it. They were in this little bitty house over, trying to think where they were. I pick up all over the place. They were kind of west of my town. A little bitty house, older house, you know, like, I don't even know if it was like from the 50s maybe, but it was interesting. I mean, the house wasn't in good shape, but it was really interesting because they had really cool pieces. Like she had some other like 1970s cool MCM pieces, and it was like, here, you just never know where you're gonna find these pieces because, you know, people inherit things and you just never know where you're gonna find pieces. So anyway, you're welcome. Hopefully we'll see that soon. But like I said, I'm hoping I can, you know, work on this bookcase. It's supposed to get all jazzed up, but it's still just a mess. You can see I'm still in the deconstruction phase. So many repairs. It's just, So anyway, that's it. That's all my live today. So like I said, next week I'll try to do better answering questions while I'm working. I'll try to keep my iPad by me, but I think I'm gonna do like 9 to 10-ish on the regular on Wednesdays. So if you have any requests or anything, let me know. But thanks for joining me. Have a great day.